I'm starting late this morning. Ooh, it's Thursday. Starting late. Yeah, running late this morning. It was very interesting. So we're running late this morning, and what else can I say? What's on my head this morning? A lot of thinking, a lot of meditation, and a lot of what I call self-healing. Yes, a lot of what I call self-healing and self-understanding. It is funny, I think I'm on marathon number 96 or something like that. Yeah, that's the marathon that I'm on right now. Marathon number 96. 96 or 90, yeah, one of those, 96. Sometimes I call this self-challenge, where you just challenge yourself mentally and spiritually. So that's what I've been doing for the past 96 days or so, is to challenge myself. The only thing is I put it on the social media to where people can see it. So I've really just challenged myself, just push my own self just because I want to, and just because I am seeking something beyond my own imagination. This is all about honesty and questioning a lot of my own upbringing, questioning a lot of the things that I've been taught to be normal. So that's what it's just all about, just questioning a lot of things. I'm gonna be in a very quiet place very soon. And I've actually been grieving too. I've never really grieved anymore in my whole entire life. I don't even think that those things existed. When I hear people grieve a loss, yeah, but I'm just like, interesting. So I've just been questioning a lot of things about myself, a lot of challenging, and comparing myself to others, seeing where they are financially, and being happy for everyone's status as well as mine. Because once you are happy with whatever status you are rolling with, it is very easy to be happy for others. It doesn't matter what they're doing, because you are truly happy with who you are. Jonah. Happy Thursday, shall I say. So being happy at where you are at a stage of life, even though sometimes you don't understand it, and being able to open your whole body to the divine, and just, I've never done so many. I've probably done over I've done more than 4,000 hours of yoga, because it is just an everyday thing for me. It's an everyday thing, and every day is a at least 3 hours, 4 hours. So it's just that whole hours I've put it into yoga, meditation, and pushing my body the way I've pushed it the last couple of years, just to make sure my body gets healed. I didn't even know that it would take this long to heal a body. I used to hear stories about healing the body, but it looks really good when it's been talked about in a book or in a movie, because during that 1.5 hours or 2 hours that the movie is going on, somebody can break a leg and they heal it, and we're at the end and they're walking again. But in real life, that is just, it's not how it goes, and it challenges you psychologically. You have to deal with a lot of noises. And what happens is, when you begin to really heal your body, you're learning to slow down with everything. It affects the way you think. Your thinking process changes. Everything becomes compassion. You just sit down there and say compassion. So this, like, to me, this is probably one of the greatest summits for me, because I've literally run a marathon every time I come out. And I did it in style too. I had to stroll, jog it, just deal with all the fatigue and keep on lifting the feet every day, just doing push-ups and stretching the body and feeling all the pain that human body can go through. I've been saying one thing to myself, that okay, if I cannot control how my finances went or my outside, the least that I can do is control my physical body. So I decided I'm just gonna control what I can control, what's inside of me, which is my physical body. And that's what I've just been doing. I control it so hard that the pain that comes into the body, it's not even pain anymore. I know that the feeling is there, because you feel that sharp pain, but because it's been for so long, it's almost just like there's no pain in the body but the one that we create in the mind. And you begin to see your whole body strengthen. It's almost like you become so lean, beyond your own imagination. Look at that water flying. So it takes running to another level, and the whole thing with yoga. So this has become pure physiology for me, because I have to heal myself psychologically, physically. Absolutely the best thing that I've ever done in my whole entire life. So I just create my own marathon, where I just run a marathon every time. There are days I couldn't get up the next day, so I would take one day off and continue again. So I pretty much said before the end of August I'm going to run 100 marathons. So I've literally done that. My next one to conquer now is to be able to push my body to run 100 miles in about 15 to 16 hours. The way my body is right now is I'm on that 33-hour mode. And I can see it. So it's just something about it. And every morning I've actually been sitting down reading cross-legged. trying to get into the pose. And I realized that a lot of the body that came from my accident and the one that especially the one that I have in my lower back. Happy, what should I call it? Thursday, thank you. Especially the one that I had in my lower back is mainly psychological. And I have to sit with my back and just sit and just sit. And I almost feel like I've inconvenienced a lot of my friends because it just doesn't make no sense that somebody would want to sit and just say, okay, I'm going to surrender and just let life loose and just be in the moment all the time. I love going to AAs because even though many are talking about surrender, that word looks very easy, but to actually surrender to that divine, you looked upon as crazy, wise, lazy. It's just not that. It's just there's a stage in life that you just have to sit and recognize your higher self. And that is just what I've done the last couple of years. And I've truly wanted to know what is this thing about. Because my saying is, when you get to a certain age and you've made all the mistakes in the book, you're not really afraid of anything anymore. Nothing really phases you. Because you've, everything that many people are afraid to lose, I've been there. And I've also realized that that loss isn't truly who I'm made of. What I'm really made of is absolutely in between me and in my head. So, and that's the reason why it's very easy for me to just close my eyes or close my ear on people when they say do this, do that. Because a lot of people, because they don't live my lifestyle, I understand it. So we just miscommunication because we vibrate from different energies. I've been up since about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That's the time that I get up every day to start my stretching, the reading. 3 a.m., 2 o'clock. There's something about getting up at that time to just seek that divine, that God, that whatever you want to call it, that higher self. And I've studied so many spiritual gurus, billionaires, and they all have one thing in common, and that is to just get up in the morning and do something, no matter what time it is. And sometimes when you make it a habit to do something, no matter what it is, if it doesn't go according to society, you will judge. And what that has done to me, it motivates me more to want to be like to the biscuit with it. And I literally just did what I wanted to do. It didn't even surprise me at all. So every time someone say, oh, you gotta stop, I just don't give a biscuit. And I push this body. And I also look at our whole universe, how, I don't even know what name to use for it. I was at my volunteer work yesterday, the drive-through, and I had packed some food for somebody. And I don't know who that person was, but his name was written on it. So 2 beautiful young women came in. They looked like me, and I put the food in there by mistake, so I took it out. Apparently it was for another guy who doesn't look like me. And of course the first thing that came out of those women's mouth, oh, is it because it's white? And I looked, and the way I look at it is, anyone who is racist and who also thinks someone is racist, they're just vibrating from the same energy. That's why you go accuse and they go accuse each other. Because after a little while, you don't really want to get involved in all those things anymore, because I realized that this girl's talking about beauty. They are beautiful. But the truth is, let me open my mouth and say I want to take one of them out. They will never go out with me just because. Either because of my looks or my dress or my situation. So I look at that to be a lot of a hypocrisy, because I think what it is in our culture here is we've made everything race. After a little while you get tired of it. I've studied all these things, from the slave to the slave masters. And I truly, truly, truly realized that the only way to move forward is just don't repeat what your ancestors has done. So like all those noises, all those things that we have to be separate, it just doesn't make sense when you study collective consciousness. The only reason why we come up with all that black-white foolishness is because we have yet to find peace within ourselves. And I can say this because, you know, I started to develop a friendship with my father a couple of years ago. I don't really know him, never seen him for much of my life. But when I learned how to forgive and learn how to let go, I was cool with it. And I realized a lot of time when you don't forgive and you haven't let go, you find excuse to harbor that hatred. You know, it's either by saying, oh yeah, they did this to my ancestors. Oh no, my ancestors used to be this. But at the end of the day, the truth is, this all comes from a religious entity. And that's why I don't participate in no religion, no nothing. Because I think religion has separated man more than we realized. And every time I see all these movements from, oh, we got to this, we got to that, it's always from the religious point of view, from somebody that's actually religious. Because when you study, and that's what I love, admire about the Buddhists, because when they study forgiveness, because forgiveness is what made this world go around. Whether you want to accept it or not, if you don't forgive, you can never, ever, ever find peace. Yeah. So to talk about, yeah, what's been done to black people here, everybody knows that. And to each to his own, the way I look at it. And when you become that part of that change and all you want to do is just heal, you realize that you move on, but you never forget that history, you never forget your story, you never forget where you're coming from, but your goal will be not to repeat the same thing. And from what I've seen, we repeat the same thing so much. Everything is just black, white, and that vibration of energy, everybody just put it out there will make it look like everybody's that way. I'm not talking for everybody, but everybody, the world is balanced, and that balance is how we think. We attract what we think. So we attract all these, I don't want to say bad energies, all these different energies, because I don't see the energy that is bad or good, and we make it look like everybody's like that. And I'm saying this because we talk so much about this black and white issue, but nobody gives a biscuit about the people who are poor, who don't have money. All you have to do is dress a certain way and go into a store, you are treated differently. So what is the difference? And that's just the way I look at it. And I can say this for my own family too. I show up, people don't even say hello to me just because the way I think, the way I dress, I'm just so simple. It's like literally they create a stigma. And it's one of the reasons why I left my hair the way it is too. Thank God he's crazy. He doesn't have this. So to me, all this cowboyness is coming from a discriminative entity. So it makes me not respect none of those things. Or even though if I go to certain churches, just dress the way I dress and make my hair look rough, the way I'll be treated. So all these things is all a, sometimes I will call it a delusional theological based fan. Yeah, I call it a theological delusional senses. And we make it part of our culture so much that everything is black, white, yellow, green. And I can't even go among my families. Being a Yoruba descent, all I have to do is show up the way I show up. Nobody will even say hello to me unless I put on a suit and have a big belly. I can dress the way I dress. I probably wouldn't get no recognition. Nobody will even talk to me. And the more I look at it, the more I realize this is just a fluke. To the extent that when you are talking about a spiritual guru, when you go somewhere and you say your name and you say this, you could, entitlement gives you this status. So I begin to wonder, what about people whose journey is just, no matter how much they try in this life, In this lifetime, they just won't accommodate the financial status. And I think that's the reality that people don't want to accept. Some people's journey might be for the rest of their life just to be a janitor, just to be this. And it doesn't mean they're better. Those janitors every day inspire you. And what's so funny about this whole thing is, every time you react to somebody because of their status, is because somehow they moved you. They moved your emotion. And to me, on that note, that's very powerful on the homeless man or homeless person's entity, because every time you react and you think you're better than them and you have to act a certain way, that means that individual is powerful. Every time you see someone and you think you have to hate them because of their race, because of their color, that means you are truly, truly weak. That individual is so powerful and it makes you react. Can you imagine somebody can make you react so hateful? That is powerful, because that means in your senses that you need to deal with something psychologically. If you have to see somebody and just squeeze your face and think you're better than them, that means there's something wrong with him. They call it classism, but no, on a spiritual content, it really means you're delusional and there is something wrong with you. That's just it, period. And I am guilty of it once upon a time. But now I know how to treat people. It doesn't matter who you are, if you're Queen of England or some guy on the street. I'm going to treat you the same way. I'm going to greet you the same way. I'm not going to try to hug you. No, biscuit that. So, and I think that's the thing about spiritual consciousness and collective consciousness, because you start to realize that even though they're telling you, yeah, this group is not good, do not like them, your own group that's telling you, oh, this group is not good, do not like them, if you don't do things their way, they don't even talk to you. So it's all a delusional concept. And once you realize that delusional concept, you just laugh. You truly just do. And because of the things that I've seen the last couple of years, that's why I, for one, just live life the way I want to live. It's almost like people telling me, oh, I'm going to get a job so that you could be miserable like me. And I'm like, hell, there's a biscuit, no. Excuse my French, I shouldn't say hell. But biscuit, no. You know, so we judge everyone based on, oh, he's a loser, he's this. There's nothing called loser. And I don't think there's anything called unemployment, because no matter what you do every day, you have to think. Whether you want to sit around and do nothing, you still have to use your brain to think and do nothing. If you want to steal, it doesn't matter what you do. You have to use your senses to do it. Even being a bum is a job. You know, because you have to sit down there and think of how to be a bum. So when you don't think and your mind is not open, you look at everything your own way, because even though to be lazy is a job. So I don't see what the big deal is, whether you go to your 9 to 5 or you don't do anything. Even to be lazy, even to be a bum is a job, because you have to use your senses. The only way you could escape anything on this planet is when you leave this body. So, and those are the things I think about on this meditative jog of mine, because it's like right now the whole thing is just like a comedy for me. I laugh so much I can't stop laughing. The way people think, the way we think, this whole energy thing, and intellectual. And to be spiritually intellectual and to study, because the more you read, the more you realize you don't know nothing. That's the main thing. The moment you begin to get to that stage in life and you realize there's so much for you to learn and you don't know anything, that means, okay, you are coming into an awakening. But as long as you think, oh, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you know everything, no, you're truly, truly, truly delusional. You have not yet to respect this planet that we call the universe. So today, let me go ahead and finish this 26-mile meditative jog. Like I said, I've been meditatively grieving the last couple of days. And I didn't want to say anything because I got to have respect for my beautiful sister. So yes, But the meditative grieving doesn't mean you have to be sad and you have to be enraged. But grieving a loss can also mean being at peace with who you are and grieve in a smile. Because a lot of time when we grieve, we think we have to cry, we have to be angry. That isn't grieving. It becomes selfish. But to actually grieve in peace is something beyond it, because you can actually be at peace and grieve. So yes, it's getting hot here. Let me continue this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And enjoy your day too, Pema Chödrön. I'm gonna say happy Thursday and one love. I share.